Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kodash, Barakatom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to your Akim out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the Brother Raya with another video, and I'll be reading from an article on activistpost.com titled Finger Vein Vending Machines and a Global Biometric Police Database. There's going to be another video dealing with the mark of the beast, which is that a RFID microchip implant. 2019 has been deemed the year of the Charagma, or the year Esau really pushes for that chip. And we can clearly see that Esau's making a diligent effort towards getting you people acclimated to this microchip implant technology with stepping stone technologies such as this finger vein biometric ID, as well as the electronics you're using already. The phone I'm recording this video with has a facial recognition on the camera, so I don't need to enter my passcode. It'll just scan my face, and then I can unlock my phone, that mark in the forehead. And also on my laptop, if you can see it, and it's on the right side too, there's a fingerprint verification, so I don't have to type in my password. And also in the movies as well. I just recently saw that movie Captive State, which I highly recommend you brothers check out. It had a lot of meat in it. But in this movie, they had a parasite implant that people would have, which was just symbolic for the microchip implant. And it allowed the authorities to track a person's every known and unknown location. And whenever the authorities wanted to find somebody, they would just pull up their database and search for their parasite implant. And when they got a lock, it would bring up all their information on the database, and it looked eerily similar to this image right here. Instead of a fingerprint, they had the person's face. Instead of it saying identifying, it had their name and all their information down there. Esau's showing you people how he wants his New World Order to be managed. But let's get into this article. Gone are the days when you could use a slug to purchase a can of soda, because today's vending machines will know who you are and your criminal record before you can purchase an item. American Green Vending Machine, or AGM, uses finger vein readers to identify each customer. The American Green Smart System is an age verification system that allows the opportunity of merchandising and selling age-restricted products. American Green's technology interface is one of a kind and does some pretty cool things such as vein verification biometrics. Customers must register their personal biometrics and information with AGM before they are allowed to purchase anything. Hey, in Revelation 13 and 16, Salakia verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, that microchip implant. They're getting you people acclimated to giving up your biometric ID in order to purchase items. And eventually, it's going to be a mandatory implementation of the microchip implant to where if you want to be a part of Esau's beast system, you get the microchip implant. But if you don't, you're going to be put to death, as it says in Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And that image of the beast is Esau's political, financial, and military system of the NATO and EU, which the United States is a part of. And as it just said, if you don't worship that image of the beast by getting that mark of the beast, you're going to be put to death. But you sincere Akim out there should know that you're going to be put to death regardless if you get the microchip implant, because you're going to get hit with one of those 200 million nuclear missiles, as well as the laser beams from the chariot of the Most High. So if any of you sincere brothers out there find yourself in that situation, just take whatever comes with you, because if you're made a martyr in this truth, you're automatically going to be one of those elect on the chariots. Here's a video that's further expounding upon this finger vein biometric ID for these vending machines.
You've been around vending machines your entire life, right? But I can pretty much guarantee you've never seen one like this. This is one that developers insist can sell adult-only items, things like alcohol, pot, even guns. Let's get right to it and answer the probably 800 questions that just jumped right into your brain.
This goes to show how of a slick of a devil Esau is. He's using your vices to get you people used to giving up your biometric ID, because with a lot of Americans out there being drug addicts and alcoholics, it'll be nothing for them to give up their biometric ID to get their vices on the fly like this.
Pot is the one that got this idea going. The company that made the smart vending machine is called American Green. It's out of Phoenix and describes itself as a technology manufacturer that supports the legal cannabis industry. And while these developers may be thinking about getting you your high, the point here is that this is a vending machine that knows who you are, how old you are, could potentially even know your criminal record, all sorts of stuff, so that if you walk up and want to buy something that normally a human would have to sell you because...
Come on. He's using his right hand, just like my fingerprint scan on my laptop. Esau's putting it right in your face.
Have to see your ID or prescription or do a background check for purchases like NyQuil, casino chips, and yes, even maybe a handgun. Well, this machine does all that too, and a lot of that's because you'll have to register yourself with the system before buying anything.
You can register at the time of purchase, so it's not like you have to do it a day or a week in advance. But yes, you have to first create an account and then associate that account with your vein architecture. After that, you simply present your finger to make your purchases in the future.
Vein architecture. Sounds scary, and still might after this explanation, but will be less so after you hear one of the reasons why the machine uses it. Vein architecture is a biometric way of making sure you are who you say you are, like a fingerprint, but unlike a fingerprint. And this is the part that's supposed to make you feel good. If someone chops off your finger, hoping to get your share of weed or booze or whatever, it won't work.
Fingerprint, you can cut your finger and get a false negative, whereas vein architecture is as unique as a fingerprint. And it's no longer functions if for some reason blood stops flowing into that finger. So there's no point in trying to take somebody's finger without their willingness.
The machine seems pretty sturdy and does have a camera up front to capture anyone who might just try to break the thing open to get at what's inside. American Green's response to questions about that, though: people break into stores and rob humans all the time. This, with its extra layers of metal and an alert that goes off the second someone starts messing with it, is arguably safer. Still, it's choosing to let whoever's selling the products inside fight those legal battles. Creators say you'll be able to get your hands on one, or your vein architecture on one, within the next few months, as it works out deals with marijuana dispensaries, casinos, and professional sports teams.
What makes this story so disturbing is corporate America's rush to put biometric readers and scanners everywhere, because a lot of these corporations have government contracts, and a lot are also on board with the New World Order agenda. You have to remember, a lot of people in the government are beholden to their corporate interests who pay money for their campaigns. Imagine in the not too distant future, your car using a built-in TSA biometric scanner to identify you and your family before you even enter a sports stadium. But what if you don't drive? That is fine. The TSA has figured out a way to identify you. Imagine you and your family decide not to take your car to the sports stadium and decide to walk up to an entry gate. Not to worry, Clear Biometrics has installed TSA biometric scanners there too. Spying on people purchasing age-restricted items is a big business, and AGM and Clear are pulling out all the stops to get your personal information. Last year, I warned everyone that MLB and NFL fans are being encouraged to become one of the privileged that use Clear to skip concession lines. And back in that movie Captive State, there's a scene where people were going to a sports stadium for an event, and the only way they could get in is if they had that parasite implant. And also in another movie, The First Purge, if people got an implant and took a part in the first purge, they got $5,000 added to their bank accounts, a privilege for being a part of that first purge. And with a lot of people out here hurting financially, it's going to be a no-brainer to take that money on that prepaid amount on that microchip implant, especially when all hell's breaking loose out here and people haven't eaten or drinking water for a couple of days to weeks, which is eerily familiar to AGM's sales pitch. An article in Fast Company warns that biometric vending machines are designed to benefit the privileged. The exciting questions have to do with adult use, says AGM consultant Stephen Sheeran, but the reality is it's a system which specifies exactly who you are. In a school setting, vending of certain products like soda or candy could be restricted to junior and seniors, he says, or to people maintaining straight A's. So you see, they're not just concerned with creating vending machines for adults. They're concerned with kids in high school as well. Back in Revelation 13, that he causeth all, both small and great, young and old, child and adult. Last year, USA Today warned that drugstores could start using AGM's vending machines to identify patients. The race to identify shoppers has gotten so bad that retailers like Walgreens, Nestle, and Coors want to use iris tracking cameras, just a precursor to that mark in the forehead. The Big Brother implications of using biometrics to create a privileged part of society becomes even more disconcerting when you realize that your personal information might be tied to a worldwide database, finger vein readers, and a biometric police database. AGM uses Hitachi's non-invasive M2 finger vein reader, but what they do not want the public to know is that it was designed to create a global biometric database for law enforcement. So you've got these government and corporate interests both using the same technology. So as you brothers can see, with each passing day, we're getting closer and closer to the mandatory implementation of the mark of the beast, which is that microchip implant. Right now, Esau's getting the masses acclimated to this technology. Now we'll go to Revelation chapter 13, start at verse 16. And he causeth all, that he being the elites of the Edomites, such as the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, both small and great, young and poor, child and adult, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that microchip implant. And where it said free or bond, what did we just read? AGM uses Hitachi's non-invasive M2 finger vein reader, but what they do not want the public to know is that it was designed to create a global biometric database for law enforcement, free or bond. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, such as buying weed or liquor from a vending machine, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So with this video, I hope you sincere Akim out there were edified. Whatever may befall you during Jacob's trouble, just take it gladly so you can make your calling and election sure. And as always, I'm going to say Abba Ball, Kwam Yasharala. Till next time, Shalom.